Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Brothers and sisters, we begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. And we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for all praises belongs to Him. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His peace and blessings upon our noble messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. On behalf of Dar Islam, Brother Ahmed and I would like to welcome you to this Hajj information webinar. Our objective is very simple. As things develop in Saudi Arabia as to how to apply to go for Hajj, we would like to keep you informed, and that's why we have created these meetings. This is the second one, and we hope that we'll have information for you and will allow you to have some questions at the very end. The Q&A has been disabled at this time. The chat has been disabled because we like to be able to have you listen to this for a short while, and we'll allow for any question you may have in the end, inshallah. And we'll have subsequent meeting as well based on what developments happens in Saudi Arabia with respect to Hajj process for 2025, the procedure to book, the procedure to pay, the procedure to select package, etc. So with that, I turn it over to Brother Ahmed Muhammad. He's the general manager of Dar Islam USA and Canada, and I would like him to take over from here, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Azhar. Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday session. I know we are speaking to many from either North America, Europe, Australia, and many other countries. So thank you all for attending. This session is recorded. And we will be opening up the Q&A section at the end. So I kindly ask you all to hang in there for the questions. Hopefully we'll be answering a few of them. Again, this session might seem like it's a repeat from last session, but it's not. There will be some other additional comments or information that you might find valuable. But for the purpose of just a reminder, we want to also address a few points that we did address in the first session. So it is something that you will remember and continue on for the next few months, inshallah. So the good news is, alhamdulillah, is that the process is going to begin very soon. And the process is, we have time, basically, okay? So for those that are nervous or I'm not sure or clear on the information, they will come in due time. Everything that you're going to be asking, the specific questions will come in due time. But what we want to do is establish a foundation. And the foundation is simple. The process begins on Nusuk. Okay, and the Nusuk platform is the Nusuk website, not the app that you're used to if you've gone to Umrah. It is the Nusuk website, and we'll post the URLs shortly. And the process is that you register. And if you are registered for Hajj 2024 on Nusuk, inshallah, that shouldn't change. You can use the same registration, bidnillah, unless something else changes, we'll provide you details. So if you're registered and you're verified, then you just hang in there and wait. You're not ahead of anybody in line. There isn't anything if you do early, you're going to skip a line or a queue when the packages are open. So very important dates. Again, remember, these are just, I guess, dates that are projected and gives you an idea of a timeline that you should be preparing for. And as we've heard from our service providers that we work with, as we, of course, as Dar es Salaam is a supporting team to the service providers in Saudi Arabia, is that it should have been sometime this week or last week, or it may be coming up in the few next weeks. Inshallah, Nusuk will be making the announcement, is that they'll begin the verification process, okay? So we'll wait for them to do the verification. The first step is to register. And again, you can register as the head of household, as a family member, and then go into the page that asks to add family members. And every family member has to have a unique email. So the next step is once you register, you can register now and fill in all the information you need, all the personal information, personal questions that they ask, even documents if they allow. You can do that now, but nothing will happen until they begin verifying this information. So any information you can post now, that's great. If you want to wait a little, that's fine as well. But you can begin registering by using your email address, telephone number, username, and password, and then you can start registering on the Nusuk platform. So register on the Nusuk platform, fill in the information as best as you can, and await verification. That's really what's happening now. Okay, there's really nothing else to be done.
Ahmed, if I
Everything
may,
else after that is really we're waiting and we're just giving you some ideas, inshallah. Brothers, are you wanted to add something here?
yes, I just wanted to add for those who are new, who have never been for Hajj and going for the first time, you must be wondering what this registration is all about. So, just to recap a brief history, that about 3 years ago or so, the Saudi government, 4 years ago, started when the pandemic ended, the Saudi government have made a decision that anyone who is living in the Americas, South America or North America, whether it's USA or Canada, or most of Europe, most of Australia, New Zealand, there are a whole bunch of countries that are, I can call it, the non-Muslim majority countries. So they have decided that all of these Muslims living in those countries can go for Hajj only through the Saudi government, no longer through a travel agent. So if you're holding a passport, you're a citizen of these countries in the Americas, South and North, or in Europe, whether it's UK or any parts of Europe, and also in Australia and New Zealand, you cannot just simply go to a travel agent and say, "Hey, I want to go for Hajj. Show me your packages." That is now done strictly through by the Saudi government, and they created a portal or a platform called Nusuk, and we'll discuss that in more detail, which is where you need to go out and register. And register meaning that you provide your information and create an ID for yourself and a password, and you have basically registered, because all of the activity is through that portal. So your question would be, what do we do as travel agents? Well, the service providers, those that the Saudi government have appointed in Saudi Arabia to provide Hajj services, there were 11 last year, for example. They are looking to us and saying, "Hey, can you help us?" And so what we're doing is we're partnering with them in a supporting role. The actual ownership of providing the services is with the Saudi service provider, but we are working with them in a support role to help them, A, develop the package, and B, help you sign in to Nusuk and walk through the entire process of uploading your documents, to look at the packages, especially the ones that we work with them to develop. So we're going to have specific packages for us for Dar es Salaam that we will help them develop, and then I will tell you which those packages are and help you understand how to actually book a package, and then work with you through before you go, and all the prep work that we do, the webinars that we do, the religious webinars that we do, the administrative and logistical webinars that we do. And then we go also travel with you again to help you and support you while we are working with the service provider. So that is the new process. Everything is through Nusuk, and we're there to help you and support you, which is what is meant by registering in Nusuk itself. So this is for those who have never been and don't understand what's going on, and that's now the new process for going for Hajj. So I hope this makes it a little bit more clear, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Azhar. In the meantime, I want to give everyone a couple of seconds to look at the chat. And if you haven't joined the Telegram channel that we have, we greatly appreciate that you do join. We have over 1,700 members on. And this is basically the fastest and the most real-time information you'll get from us. So it's really important that you join that group because we're going to be providing updates there. We're also sending emails as well, but this is more the most real time that you're going to get, inshallah. So just a few seconds, and then we will we'll proceed. And it's posted on the chat. All right. Very well. So the next update, like we said, is going to be verifying your information. And this will be posted by Nusuk and by us and by all the service providers through the mediums that are available, or the mediums that are available shortly, inshallah, soon. Maybe it can be next week or it could be the week after. And then you get verified. And once you get verified, you're going to have the option of choosing your preference of a type of package, meaning standard, or luxury or premium, and we're going to walk you through that as well. And when the time comes, we'll walk you through that as well in greater detail. We have at least 100 pages of slides, and of course, we don't want to provide all this information now, but we will going to provide it in due time. So the most important thing is that we're going to register, provide the information that we need to provide on the website, and then await verification. We are projecting, and that's what we're receiving information for, that inshallah they plan, the ministry and Nusuk is planning on streamlining and having the process a little earlier than last year. So we are really hoping that things are being finalized before Ramadan. So you're purchasing the package before Ramadan, inshallah. I think this year it was done during Ramadan or even sometimes after. But before Ramadan, inshallah, is the plan this year. So the next step would be is once we finalize the verification process, or once Nusuk verifies the verification process, the next step is to choose a preference and then basically do a top up to your e-wallet. Topping up your e-wallet means that you're prepaying, refilling or filling your wallet, whether you've registered before or not, and waiting until the packages come out for you to view and then be ready to purchase. So you're prepaying before you even see the packages yet. And you actually can do it in increments, by the way. If your package is going to cost 50,000 riyals, 60,000, 70,000, you can always add a portion and then add another portion after when you start seeing the packages, inshallah. So don't worry about that. But we always recommend that you at least post something. Our recommendation is always to post at least or top up for the first time around 20,000 riyals per person. So you make sure that the process is functioning. You're welcome to even do 5,000 at first, and then a week later do another 15,000. It's perfectly fine. So 5,000, then another 15,000, and then you can wait the packages, or you can put in all the amount. That's perfectly fine. You do get a refund if you do not use your funds after the fact. So probably sometime in April or May that you can request a refund. They do charge a processing fee of 1.5% after if you're going to get a refund, but that's another conversation that we'll have before we do the top up. So the next phase will be the top up, and the top up e-wallet we're projecting by the end of December or the beginning of January. So as you can see, we have inshallah sufficient time so you can plan accordingly. And then we're projecting that we'll be able to see the packages posted in January, so you can kind of get a better understanding, and we'll show you what we mean about that. And then hopefully the sales process, or you can purchase a package and the package is open for sales by the end of January or the beginning of February, inshallah. And again, we'll open the floor for questions at the end of the session, inshallah. Brother Azhar, do you want to add anything here?
No, I just wanted to, so just to summarize. So step one, create an ID for yourself in Nusuk. Brother Ahmed, if you can put it also the URL for Nusuk in the chat, will be great. So create an ID for yourself in Nusuk. When they're ready to say upload your documents, that's when you upload your document, which generally has been so far a copy of your passport. It has to be a specific size, and a copy of and a picture of yourself. And if you hold a permanent resident card or a green card, then that too. So you upload that document, and they then say it is being verified. So this is something that they do. They validate the document that you have submitted, and they verify you. What does that mean? Does that mean that you're now good to go? So you've created the ID, uploaded the document, and this whole idea about a profile, if a husband and wife are going, they should not have, they should be under one profile. So a husband can create, or a wife can create an ID and then add their husband to the profile. What that means is there's two people in this profile. So when you select a package, you're selecting it for two people. When you're paying it for two people. So you don't get into a situation where one finds the package, the other couldn't. So that's why if you want the family to go together, then they all should be in a single profile, and there is a process in Nusuk to add or remove the person from profile. So assume you have registered, assume the time will come when you upload the documents and you have the right profile. Now you're simply waiting for the packages to be listed. And that will tell you when the package is listed and the price is listed, that will tell you how much you should really top up. You can start putting the money in your electronic wallet, but the price will tell you that, listen, for me to actually press the button called buy, I need to actually have that much money in it. Don't put yourself in a situation where you say buy and it comes back and says you're short, add more money, because they're not going to wait for you to add money. Others are also buying at the same time and you will lose the packages. That's why we ask people to top up. So again, register yourself, upload the document, make sure your profile is correct, then wait for the packages. We'll guide you through the packages. We'll explain what the packages are. And we're working with the service provider to create packages as much as possible to Dar Islam standard. People know that Dar Islam has very high standards in the types of packages that we create. So we'll try and guide you towards what those standards are, what those packages are, and so you can make that informed decision. What you do in the end is you actually select a package and put it into your shopping cart in Nusuk. So that is ready to go. When the time comes, we use our Telegram channel, we use other means to inform you they're about to open the purchase option. And that's when you go in and you purchase the package that you've already put into your shopping cart. And since you have enough money in the e-wallet, you've bought the package. Then comes the work that goes afterwards, which is for us to actually get more information about you, to contact you, put you in a group, and prepare you for the journey, inshallah. So that's the process in general.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah khair, brother Azhar. So register, fill in the information, upload the documents, await verification. Once we start getting verified, we're gonna start choosing a preference and then topping up your e-wallet. You can start with 5,000, then add another 15,000 a few days later, just to make sure the process works. You use a credit card. You can use, I don't believe they use Amex, but they use other credit cards. And you can also do a wire as well. You can provide your information for your bank on there, and we'll walk you through this. Again, remember this is probably going to be by the end of December and not before that. And then you get to see the packages sometime in January, and they open up for sale by the end of January, beginning of February, and we'll keep you posted through Telegram. So I'm going to start sharing some slides. Again, this is a reminder based on everything we spoke now. We're visualizing it. So if you can just bear with me 1 second, I'm going to share the slide. So again, here is the process from 1 to 5 and then 6 down towards the left. So create an account, upload your documents, fill out the application, await application verification, select the preferred category, which is standard, premium, luxury, shifting, non-shifting. We can even speak about that after as well, but I understand that you might have a lot of questions about it, and we have enough slides for it, but let's take it one step at a time. Then you top up, browse the service provider. We'll provide you with the service providers that we are supporting and working with and what packages they are. Select your preferred package, and when it opens up, you book your package, and then you review and you purchase the itinerary. Brother Azhar, do you want to walk through any of these 10 steps?
No, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. A nice visualization of the steps that we talked about. But we're going to walk you
Perfect.
through it. We're going to actually show you the Nusuk app. We're going to actually walk you through the profile process so that you will have more of an understanding when you're going through that, inshallah.
And just to clarify, Brother Azhar, it's Nusuk website, right? Because the app is different than the website. The app is for Umrah. So just in case no one thinks that it's the same.
That is
But
correct.
we say it interchangeably. All right. So again, to visualize what we said, you see, we said it, and then we're visualizing it. So the next slide is going to show you how the countries that are within the Nusuk platform are the website. And if you are one of these nationalities, then most likely you would have to purchase the package through Nusuk, inshallah. There is conversation about the fact that most of the Muslim countries that are not in here because they have Hajj missions or they have a different distribution of quotas and visas, they might privatize a portion of the packages to be allowed in Nusuk. So if you're a different nationality than this one, there might be a chance that you'll be able to use it. Again, remember, if you're a different nationality, but you have a permanent residence in any of these countries, you'll be able to also use a Nusuk platform. Here is what the website looks like, Nusuk Hajj. This is how you create an account to start your journey. Here is how you log in. You put your email address and password. This is the documents you need to upload. There's an upload guide. You attach your passport, your personal photo, you fill out all your contact details and information. Now here, sometimes someone will ask, well, Brother Ahmed, we don't know when the arrival detail is. That's perfectly fine. I would say just put 31st of May or 29th of May as expected arrival. You can put 14 days or 20 days expected by air and TBD at the end, or you can even leave it blank because it's not a required field. So don't worry about that. It's not going to affect your reservation or registration whatsoever. Once you have it, this is where your profile looks like. And if you'll notice, it will say under verification in the application status on the top right-hand side above the photo. And if you'll notice on the left-hand side, there's a tab that says My Family. This is where you'll click My Family and create family members. You'll add a new family member. They'll ask you for their information, a unique email address, and they will be under here. Brother Asad, should I continue or do you want to add anything?
No, this is good. Alhamdulillah, this is good.
Here's also support contacts for Nusuk. Generally speaking, they'll provide you the general guidance and information. So if you have any general questions, they'll be able to support you, inshallah. Once you get verified, this is what you'll start seeing. Okay. Welcome back. How many days before? Now, of course, remember, this is a sample. This is not verified. This is not real. This is from last year. Then you'll see two boxes, one that says select preferred category and then activate digital wallet. If you had last year, then your wallet is probably activated. You can't activate the digital wallet until you select the preferred category. The ministry and Nusuk wants to know what the preferred category everyone would like to do. So you'll be able to select the preferred category. It's very simple, very straightforward. We'll walk you through it. We'll provide video tutorials, like a 1 minute or a 2 minute video tutorial on Telegram for it. But typically, these are how the preferred categories look like. There's standard, premium, and luxury, and there's non-shifting and shifting. The only difference between shifting and non-shifting, brothers and sisters, by the way, only one thing. Shifting means you get out of your hotel during Mina and Arafat, during the Hajj days, and non-shifting means you still have your room during the manasik of Hajj or during the rituals of Hajj. And some of you might say, well, if I choose shifting, where am I going to stay? You're going to stay in the tents, but you're also going to probably have some building accommodation in the suburbs of Mecca, should you need to use it. Of course, shifting will be less more pricier than the non-shifting. Shifting is usually more expensive. Standard, premium, and luxury usually basically stay. The difference between them is the quality of the hotel. Between a standard would probably be a residential building or a 3-star hotel. Premium is a 4-star hotel, and luxury is 5-star hotels. Generally speaking, the only packages that we support are usually luxury. We may have one premium that's shifting, and we'll discuss that as well. And the pricing, of course, varies. So once you choose your preferred category, again, this is non-binding. So you can always change it anytime you like. This is just a preference. You don't have to stick to it once you see the packages after. These are non-binding. But what it does, it activates. If you'll notice now, the activate digital wallet is now in green and in brown, apologies. And then now you can start activating your wallet. All right. Brother Azhar, do you have anything to add here?
So just to explain for someone that might want to know what is this digital wallet, basically it's an account they have created uniquely for you. That is your unique account where you put money in to get ready to purchase a package. How much you put money in, you should really have enough money in it that equals to or maybe 100 reals on top of what the package price is going to be. And we don't know what the package price is going to be when you start putting the money into the digital wallet. So you start putting in some amount. We'll give you some guidance that if you chose a luxury package, expect it to be between this and that. And so you start putting money in slowly, and it will show you how much money you have in your account. When they actually release the packages, which is the next step, then you will know exactly the package you're selecting, how much it is, and you go back to your digital wallet and make sure you have enough funds to cover the price for that package. That's what digital wallet stands for.
So here's a sample of when you click on activate your e-wallet, you'll have an option to click on credit card or bank transfer. And don't worry, there is no personal information on these videos that you'll see right now or screen. It shows my name and the company address. But it'll show you a sample like this that you need to activate and how much you want to put in your wallet and the IBAN number you need to transfer for your bank transfer. So you'll choose either credit card or bank transfer. And when you choose credit card, you'll ask what top-up amount would be. I would recommend, again, 5,000 rials per person in the beginning, then add another 15,000 within the week, and then await if you'd like to see the packages. And then you basically will provide your billing information and then your credit card information to add $1,000. Once you click on rial, or 5,000 rials, like we said, pay now, and all of a sudden you can go back and this is the page. It would look like this. And again, here is how you top up your e-wallet with the information. You can even put in your bank information and so on and so forth. Brother Azhar, you want to add anything here?
No, Brother Ahmed, you're doing well. I mean, this is great. Continue, please. I think this is pretty good so far. And if you want to open it up for questions, if you feel that, if you have any approximation on the dates when you think they will actually open up for uploading the documents so the verification process can begin, is that the end of December?
So no, the verification process is supposed to be any day now. It would be within the next couple of weeks, inshallah. So stay tuned. We'll be updating you, and I'm sure Nusuk will post as well. Here are the examples of what the packages were last year. Again, remember, you don't need to select your package or preference or the company service provider you're going to use. These are all examples, but this is an example of what the prices were last year for shifting and non-shifting. These are the three companies we worked with last year, which is 2024, 1445 Hajj. The average prices are ranging from 45,000 rials to about 55,000 rials per person, even up to 60,000 plus the airfare. Okay, so that's typically what the prices would be. We did have an economy program as well. I'll give you an example. These are Ma'aysam packages, and we'll discuss the differences between Majar al-Kabsh and Ma'aysam if you'd like. But again, Majar al-Kabsh is the closest to the Jamarat, and Ma'aysam is the further one. That's really all. And we believe the only difference between them is going to be about 5,000 rials. Now, here are the picture, the packages. We did have some packages like Hajj Jamil, if you notice on the bottom. The last two packages were about 29,000 rials. This is a package that we offered as well and was led by Sheikh Yasir Qadi. Of course, every single package will be led by, mashallah, our esteemed mashayikh and our organizations. So you'll have options and we'll be providing you those guidelines, and the organizations will be providing, of course, what company service provider and what package ID. And if you'll notice, a lot of the package IDs in the beginning would start as DS. So we'll even give you the code on how to even purchase them, how to even search for them so easily. This is all going to be repeated multiple times, by the way, brothers and sisters. I promise you. And again, this is recorded. You can always watch it as well on your own. And again, here is a quick rundown again of the process and the steps. Brother Azhar, would you mind if you want to read this over again? I know we're just repeating ourselves, but it's important that's as a reminder, inshallah.
So if you were asking, what should I do? Well, first thing you do is create an account in Nusuk. Second, you wait till they're ready to verify your document, then you upload the documents. But the reason we don't want you to upload the documents now, because I don't know what changes they'll make in the upload process. It's better for you to wait, create the account, then upload the documents. And with that is the application that has your contact information, your address, etc. And that you do all in this, the website called hajj.nusuk.sa. Once that's done, there's nothing for you to do except log in every so often and see if you have been verified. So that status that says awaiting verification will come back and say verified. So now you're ready to go. They know who you are. They validated you. And the reason they verify your document is because the visa for Hajj is not issued by the Saudi consulate in your respective country. It is issued by Nusuk itself. And hence, they want to validate your document upfront before you purchase any package. so that they can issue the visa when the time comes. So once the verification is complete, then you go and select your preference category. Do I want a standard package? Do I want a luxury package? Do I want a premium package? And you, as soon as you select and choose a category, it allows you to start putting your money into your account that is uniquely yours. They call it the e-wallet. And you can start putting in slowly amount. Let's say if you're buying a package, even if it is 40,000 reals, there's no point in putting that reals automatically in one shot. And you might say, what if I want to put US dollars? Well, their pricing are in reals. So while you submit, you pay for in reals, your credit card company will translate that into the dollars you need. Or if you're going to your bank to do a transfer, they will translate that into the reals that you want to transfer into the dollars that will come out of your account. So you do that until they actually publish the package. So when they publish the package is now available to you. We will help you and guide you to say, of all of the packages, these are the packages specifically that Dar Islam worked with its partners and service providers for us, for our clients. And then you can look at those packages and then select one of them and put it into your shopping cart. Now you know how much that package cost. It may be with the airline. You may not be with the airline, depending on where you're departing from. And then you know exactly what the amount should be in your e-wallet. And so what you've done is I've chosen a package and it's in my shopping cart. And now I've gone in and topped up my e-wallet that equals or a bit more than the package price. All you have to do then is just wait after that, because they will publish the packages, but you will not be able to purchase it. It is for you to shop around. It's for you to see what would you like, for you to understand how much they cost and what you can afford. You can do all of that for a few days, perhaps even a week or 2 weeks, and then you settle on a package that you put into your shopping cart. Then you wait for us to tell you when they're about to launch the purchase process. And we have many ways of telling you that. And once we tell you that, you go in and log in and you go out and actually purchase what you had already in your shopping cart. And then you now have a package purchased. And now there comes the part of preparing for traveling for Hajj. And then, of course, we'll be with you over there, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair, Brother Azhar. And just a quick clarification. Brother Azhar mentioned about registration and then uploading your documents. You're welcome to fill in all the information and upload your document if you want to test it. And if it runs through, it's perfectly fine. You can keep it the way it is. And if they need you to re-upload it, that's perfectly fine as well. So it doesn't hurt if you go through the process. So I wanted to show you an example. These are how the categories look like. I know it says 7 distinct categories, but there are actually 6, because 2 years ago there was a 7th category. So there is no other categories. There's going to be 6 at the moment. And this is just an example. And I want to show you a few more slides. Again, we're not going to touch up on them, but I want to let you know that these are the slides we're going to discuss next time. Those are things that Nusuk also uploads on their website on categories and understanding the packages and the categories and the masha'ir and what's inclusive and what the package durations are, shifting, non-shifting, and also category classifications and also zones, right? So hotels, there's zones, zone A, B, C, and the cheaper the package gets, the further the zone, right? So zone A is usually what we focus on the most in terms of our packages. There's also different types of room types and so on and so forth, okay? Mina Camp, Majar Capsule Maisam. Again, we'll cover this next session, inshallah. Transportation between cities and so on and so forth. So we're going to open up the Q&A now for some questions pertaining to the steps that we spoke about. Again, one last thing that we would like to share is I think many people want to know what the dates are. And we can tell you now that typically the dates are departure around the 26th or the 27th of May, returning on the 10th to the 11th of June, inshallah, with a variation of plus 2 days or minus 2 days. So there might be packages that are departing on the 27th. Some packages might depart on the 29th or the 30th, but mostly all of them will come back, packages that will be supporting the 10th, 11th, or the 12th of June, inshallah. So if you were to plan your vacation, please plan accordingly, plus or minus. It shouldn't be before the 27th of May, and it shouldn't be after the 12th of June, inshallah, the majority of the packages, bi'idhnillah. Okay, so let's open up the Q&A. All right. Bismillah. So we'll begin, inshallah. Can you explain step 7? Select your preferred provider. I do not recall this option before seeing the packages to select last year. Yes, that is a great question. That wasn't an option, but it was part of the filtering. So we will actually go through and train everyone how to filter through the packages or how to search for a name of a package, inshallah. So we'll go through that. It is definitely worth filtering packages that way. But it's also worth doing it as a search as DS, right? So we usually had codes that we would offer you, so you'll know that as well, inshallah. Will purchase of air travel still required to book a package in Nusuk? Great question, Brother Muhammad. Yes, most likely the initial packages that will come out with a required a travel airline that you'll have to choose from. So that will stay. Yes, that will continue to be there. Who is the service provider this year you're working with? Which is best shifting? So yeah, the packages that we are working with, the service providers right now, most likely or for sure will be having El Borj and Sierra Group, and we might be announcing a third. We'll be announcing this in our Telegram group and providing you the details. Which is best shifting or non-shifting? Really based on the preference. We'll discuss that option next time we speak about the shifting and non-shifting and the benefits there. Generally speaking, the benefits are really cost, but also at the same time, if you're going to be planning to go back and forth during the mashad, inshallah. I'm going to pause the questions at the moment. We have, mashallah, 130 of them. We'll answer those and then we'll open them up as we begin, inshallah. Breakfast and dinner is part of the package. Yes, usually all packages include breakfast and dinner. The price has gone up. If it is going to be going up, it might be going up around 10%, but we haven't seen the prices yet this year, Sheikh Dawood. My brother and his wife are in Perth, Australia. Can they join me in the same group? Yes, most definitely. Anyone that is going to be within the Nusuk platform, you can choose any package and you can be together, inshallah. How much do you guys charge and when and how much do we pay you? Great question, Brother Sayyid. You do not pay us anything for any platform or any services or any package that is posted on Nusuk. That everything goes through Nusuk, inshallah, and we coordinate with the service provider. What does Nusuk mean by providing a headshot in formal attire? Is it a t-shirt okay for men? Do women need to wear hijab in the photo? You don't need to wear hijab, but it's preferred. This is the picture that's going to be used on your ID. I would recommend it. T-shirts. See, again, it's very subjective. I would prefer to say something with a collar. Think of it as a picture you're taking for your passport size photo. So plan that this is considered you're getting a visa to a country. So if you're going to get a visa for any country that you're going to, Brother Tariq, think of it that way. Think of a 2x2 white background photo. And I would suggest something that you would do for any visa or any passport that you're taking. So a collared shirt would probably be better. I've seen t-shirts as well. T-shirt is perfectly fine. But again, remember what you would take for a visa anywhere else. Let's say you're applying for a visa, I don't know, to China or to anywhere else, that's what you would assume. Can I change preferred category later from yes, you can change the preferred category. This is just a preference. It's non-binding whatsoever. It's for you just to activate and just to know the strategy. As someone, Brother Tariq, assalamu alaikum. Great to see your name. As someone who went to Hajj with DST in 2024, I can tell you that you're in good hands with DST. My advice is to attend every DST webinar, trust the process, and make constant dua that Allah invites you to perform Hajj. Jazakumullah khair for your kind words, Brother Tariq. May Allah bless you, and thank you for the advice. Yes, this is a very good point, Brother Tariq, with regards to follow the webinars, follow the advice that is given on the webinars, trust the process, and we always advise. I know a lot of people get very excited and they join many groups and many channels, and if they become overwhelmed. So if you've made the decision in the niyyah, inshallah, to follow the information that Dar es Salaam disseminates, please stick to that, inshallah, and bidnillah, we won't steer you wrong. For those who registered and verified at Nusuk from last year, do we need to get verified again? Brother Hazim, I don't believe at this time you do have to. If you're verified, then it stays verified, unless they reset the whole system, and we weren't informed anything about that yet. If you're verified in 2024 but need to update information, yes, you may do so, of course. You can verify, you can remove your document and add a new document, inshallah. Brother Azhar, you want to continue?
I just want to let you know that if you have been verified and then you want to make any changes, then you go through the same verification process again. Your document will be put into a waiting for verification status. It'll take a while, a day or two or so before they go out and verify it. They just don't look at the change you made. They look at is almost the entire thing has to be verified again. I just want you to know that. But you can definitely do that. I applied for Hajj too late last year, and my application never moved past the under review for verification stage. It still shows under review today. Should I delete my old application and start a new application when registration opens? I emailed Nusuk my question and they only responded that Hajj 2025 registration is currently closed. Any guidance would be appreciated. So
Yeah.
if you go ahead.
Yeah, so great question. So I think yes. So your file your application may be probably in limbo. So I think the best thing to do is delete it and create a new application if you're still under review for verification from last year. All right. But if you've already created one and you're under verification from this year, you should keep it the way it is, inshallah. Do you have land only packages, Sister Sayyida? We don't have any packages. We don't provide any packages. It's all on Nusuk platform, and they'll not be providing. All the packages are usually land, but then you have to choose an airline part of it. So last year, you had the option to either choosing a group flight or a custom flight through a Musafir platform. And I believe it's going to continue that way, where you have to choose the package on there if you're choosing a full package. Do you have to pay for airfare? Yes. Airfare is added. You can choose a gateway. You can choose a different destination. You can choose a different airline, and packages will have options. They might not have all the gateways, but every program will have a different option.
I made a Nusuk account and had to delete it. I then made a new account, but then when I go to upload my passport on the new account, it keeps saying that I still have a pending application from my deleted account. Because of this, I can't do anything at the moment. I've contacted Nusuk many times and keep getting the same answer. Looks like when you deleted the account, that delete hasn't taken place yet, hasn't taken hold yet. And that's why, when you made a new account, when you're uploading the passport, it's still saying you have a pending application from somewhere in the past. So I would not change the account or anything of that sort, but I would try and contact them and with an email asking them to see if they can look at what the pending application is. Cut and paste the message you're getting and send it to them in an email, and you might get a different answer. Try that again, inshallah.
And most likely, Brother Azhar, they might say that the registration is still closed. So I think once they start the registration, that all resets, inshallah.
Okay, I want to clarify a couple of things. So I cannot add my wife until I fully register myself and upload my document. Is that correct? You have to first add yourself, and then you'll have the option of adding a family member. Or if you've already had a family member, let's say you had your wife and your daughter or your son, and then all of a sudden you change your mind, or your daughter or son can't go and you want to remove them, you can do that as well. So that happens after you've created your own, you have registered yourself fully. What is the latest date of departure from the US in June? I believe all of the departures are such that you have to be in Saudi Arabia no later than May 31st. You cannot go beyond May 31st. There might be exceptions, that if you're going to a Mecca first package and flying on Saudi Airlines, you can get there by June 1st. But in general, the rules that they have as to when the last flight for Hajj should land, based on that, it is May 31st. Will we have a group and sheikh traveling with us from Dar es Salaam? Meaning group from the United States with dedicated sheikh. Group will go together in all of the manasik. So you don't have the sheikh traveling with you, but you do have a sheikh assigned to the groups that will be part of the group in walking you through the manasik. And we also have a group leader, generally speaking, or someone available to also handle any logistical or administrative questions you may have. So we cover both sides, especially when you're there.
Brother Azhar, if I can just share these couple of slides. This is an example of last year's esteemed mashayikh that were with us. Every program and the organizations, mashallah, that have been accompanying and serving the Hujjaj. So we will be announcing these, inshallah, in due time. And you will know the sheikhs and the scholars and the leaders that will be in every group. And it really begins when you arrive there, not on the flight, inshallah.
The home address, the street address section of application is confusing. Can you go through each individual box? Do you have a slide on that, Brother Ahmed?
Sure. I will bring it right now. Bismillah. I think they are referring to this page, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I think the question here is really about the required field of the street address, home address, and apartment house number. So street address, just put a copy and paste of the street address and the home address. And the apartment or house number would be the first couple of numbers of your address. So you can literally copy paste and put it both in street address and home address, and the house number would be the house number.
Thank you. When I try to submit my application, step 3, fill the application on the Nusuk website. It says my phone number is already in use and therefore doesn't allow me to proceed to step 4. What should I do?
Do you have, I mean, if you had another application, then you would have to just change your phone number, or if you deleted it and it didn't go through, then I think you should put in a new telephone number if you have. That's probably the best way.
Can you please share the slides? But the Badi Zaman will share with you the recording of this webinar, but not the slide. I have not done Umrah before. Okay, well, we'll walk you through how to perform Hajj. Not only walk you through before you depart, but we'll be also there in helping you in performing the manasik of Hajj, inshallah. Are the flights included in the packages? Generally, they will show you the flight options. So when you're looking at a package, when they're published, it will give you the price of the package and will give you the choice of flights. When you add the flight that suits you from the package itself, then the price increases and the flight is included. But the question here is, should I buy my flight through them? You have to have a flight with them along with the land package. So again, Sister Nusrat, when you look at the package, it is without the airfare because the airfare can vary. And so and somebody may publish a package with an airfare that says departure from Montreal, departure from Toronto, departure from New York, departure from Chicago. And depending on what you choose, then it adds the airfare on top of it. But initial publication is without the airfare. Would 80K Real include airfare? Based on last year, it would include airfare. Do I have to add a new email address to add a family member? Yes, that family member has to have a unique email address. Can we adjust the dates if needed, for example, June 10th? But the Imad, we don't have a choice in making the dates. You'll see the packages and it will have the dates in it and you'll have to choose based on what's available. If you want to adjust the dates, for example, there will be packages that comes back on June the 10th. There'll be packages that comes back on the 11th and the 12th and so forth. And you'll have to then choose the package. If you must be back by June 10th, then you have to choose a package that returns on June the 10th. What does it mean that only 7 were available for the Fairmont package? I'm not so sure what you're referring to here, Sister Uzma. Brother Ahmed, do you know what this means? Okay. So there are 7 packages that actually had their hotel accommodation in Fairmont. That was last year. So we don't know what will be like this year, but generally speaking, the luxury packages uses that entire clock tower complex hotels, whether it's the Swiss Hotel or the Fairmont Hotel or other hotels in the clock tower complex. And that's the luxury package, 5-star hotels in front of the Haram. And so we'll see what happens this year, inshallah. Is Nusuk a bid system? Is that why you have to put money to see the packages? No, it's not a bid system. The reason why they created the e-wallet is because the year before that, when people went out to purchase the package and they were short, they had to pay, they were given a very short time. For example, somebody said, okay, I want to pay now, and they put in the credit card. For some reason, the credit card got declined, and they not only lost the sale purchasing of the packages, they lost themselves from the queue, and so they couldn't buy the package. So to avoid all of that, they created this thing called the e-wallet. It's not a bid system. You're not bidding for it. The package is a fixed price. What you're doing is making sure that when the time comes, when the turn on the purchase option is on now, that you've already prepaid for the package, which was the amount that was published when the package was published. And so it's easier for you to now to actually complete the sale, because as soon as you buy the package, they remove your money from the e-wallet as part of the package that you purchase. When can we add family members? After you've created your profile, you'll get an option to add family members. Assalamu alaikum. My mom and I are US citizens. I live in Switzerland and she lives in Oman. Can we go together via Nusuk and Dar es Salaam? You can certainly choose a package. Remember, the package is only the land package, but you'll have to then choose the airline where she flies from Oman and you fly from Switzerland. So if you are actually creating a profile for her in Switzerland with you, then when you're looking at packages from Switzerland or the Islam package that's there, then it's a matter of selecting the appropriate airline. What they did last year is they also allowed for you to choose an airline from a dynamic sales system. What that means is that you don't have a fixed flight. And so when the time comes for the sale, you go in, you select your package, only then you're looking for what is available. And that could be very challenging because you're flying from two different destinations, but it doesn't stop you from choosing a single package. Are we able to book airfare separately and fly in from a different country? Yes, we had that last year where they had the ability for you to choose your airfare dynamically through the system. But here's what people found. When they went out to choose their airfare, they found A, it was not available on what they're looking for, or B, it was expensive. But it allowed you to actually go out and choose, as opposed to a pre-chosen airfare from departing from your home country that was already shown as part of the package, but it gave the option of going out and choosing. But you still have to choose through Nusuk. You cannot go out and choose an airfare separately on your own with your own travel agent. It has to go through Nusuk. Non-shifting, how do you commute back to the hotel? On Hajj days, transportation is provided, inshallah. What should we include for the required vaccinations? Generally, they will give you the requirement. Last year, I believe the only thing that required for you to be vaccinated against for those who are traveling from the Americas was meningitis. So wait for their requirements to be published for this year, and then you'll go out and get the vaccine. It's too early for this now. Are there packages without flights included? If you're looking for buying a package without the flight, you cannot just buy the package and choose your own flight. You have to buy the package and choose a flight either that's already part of the package, or the fact that they allow you to dynamically choose flights from their system, from Nusuk, not independently. How many applications are guaranteed to be accepted from USA? We don't know what the quota is going to be this year, but I can tell you last year, the day they put the packages on sale, this is where people were all stressed out. The day they put the packages on sale is the day all of the quota for the United States was exhausted. But what they did is they had a phase 2, because not all the countries were able to sell. So they accumulated the visas and they opened it up again. And then they had a phase 3. It just turned out that there were packages still available to go in, even after Ramadan, but not the choice packages. There were other packages that were available, but not the preferred ones or the good ones, if you will. So there is no idea at this time as to what the quota is going to be. But last year there was sufficient that was left till the very end. But I would say that if you're looking for specific packages, those might be gone up front. So you have to be careful. Can people from UK come with you? Yes, they have already last year. They chose the package and chose to fly from the UK. Assalamu alaikum. Sorry for the confusion, but does each family member need to register for an independent account before I add them to the single family profile, or just add their unique email address directly into my account? Brother Haitham, as far as I know, walaikum salam, as far as I know, you create a profile for yourself and then you add the family member with their own unique email account into your profile. They don't have to independently create a profile for themselves. Is there one digital wallet per family or is it one per family member? So if I created a profile for myself and I added my wife to it, all of a sudden, whatever I'm purchasing for two. Is purchasing based on what the profile says, not based on the person who registered and booked in Nusuk. I booked in Nusuk, I have my email address, but I added my wife to it. Now it's a two. And whenever I'm shopping, when I'm selecting a package, I'm selecting for two. There's a single digital wallet for each ID, each registration, not for each person. What is the process for packages that says custom only flights? Well, that's where you actually go out. They give you an option. There's a button to click on, and you then go out into the system and look for flights and pick a flight, and then the cost is added to it before you can complete the sale. Will the custom only packages require an extra step to book flight, and will that delay you, hurting chances to book? That happened last year. So people who wanted to have custom packages went out and selected their package, which was in their shopping cart. But then as they went to collect custom packages, it took a long time because everybody else was on the Nusuk. And when they found the flight, it was expensive, but it did in some cases hurt the people's chances to book because, you know, the sale ended in one day with all the quota being filled. So it's important that if you're looking for a custom flight, you have to be careful. It's not what you exercise when you're playing with Nusuk, when you're trying it out, but when it goes live, everybody's on it, and you should expect a very slower response time. And if you're still searching for flight, what you looked for when you tried it out is not available, or what is available is now too expensive. And yes, it takes a longer time. People who were able to book were the ones who actually booked the flight with the package, and they were actually just simply had to click buy and it was done. But you can, in some circumstances, people have had a circumstance I can give you as an example would be that I have my family in UAE or in Egypt, and I like to buy a package, flight from Cairo to Medina or from Dubai to Medina. My package begins in Medina. But you know what? I'm going to take my family over there, leave my kids there before I join. The package is available to me showing that I'm flying out of JFK, but I don't want to fly out of JFK. I want to fly out of Dubai because I want to leave my family there. In which case, you chose a custom flight to fly out of Dubai only, and you had your own ticket going to Dubai with your family. That's how people use custom flights. It asks for the ticket number. How do we answer that? I have no idea what this means. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean by it asks for the ticket number. When is the next webinar session? I think we'll schedule one probably in November.
Great question, brother.
sometime.
Yeah, great question, brother Azhar. So the planned one we're gonna have, inshallah, should be December 7th, because we don't believe that there's anything that's gonna happen in November except the verification process. But if there is any updates, we will also add more. So we'll be sending an email probably in a week or two for the registration of the next session, inshallah. One more thing, brother Azhar, I wanted to just generally, because I know there's a lot of questions about this. If you've registered and you're verified for the 2024 previous account, stay and keep it the way it is. There's really nothing for you to do at this time. If you wanted to update something, you can't do it yet. They have the system locked. So the moment they open it, if they reset everyone, we don't know if they're going to reset. If they reset, then you have to re-upload your information. If they don't reset and you remain verified, or you need to update something, you may do so when they open up the system. So at this time, if you've registered in 2024 and you're verified, you need to do nothing at this time. Okay? Unless we are provided more details, we'll provide you that. But at this time, if you have been registered and verified for 2024, There's nothing you need to do at this time. Thank you. If there is something that changes in your verification, then you can do so when they open it up, because right now it's not going to change.
Thank you, Brother Ahmed. Can wife serve as a primary applicant and include husband as a companion? It doesn't matter who's the primary applicant. It could be wife, it could be husband. It really doesn't matter. As long as there's a primary applicant and the profile includes the other person or persons. Nusuk asked if you've gotten the required vaccines, what are the required vaccines? You can just say meningitis for now or COVID for now, but you can always update that later on. But the requirement for vaccines hasn't been published yet. I think this has been answered. Just to clarify, you can top off the wallet and then see packages. Then once you see the price, you add more if needed prior to purchase. Yes, so what you do is you put some amount in your e-wallet. Let's say you're looking for a package that roughly will be around 55,000 reals. Go all the way up to 45,000 reals, or even 50,000 reals and stop. When the packages are published, you'll have an idea as to what the package is going to cost, and you have to then add to it the airfare, and then you will know exactly what the total package will be. You can actually go out and select a package, and if it is including the airline with the package, you can put that in your shopping cart. It will give you the total price. Now you can go and remaining and then top of the wallet to that price. I even say add 100 reals on top of it, because don't put the exact number, add a few reals on top of it, because you have an exchange rate difference sometimes. This is all very tactical. Can you comment on the emotional prep for the journey? Brother
Brother
Omar,
Azhar, if I may,
yes, go ahead.
that's a great question, mashallah. And believe it or not, we had last year, I believe, 36 videos on the spiritual preparation of Hajj. But I know everyone is thinking of the logistics now. So I'm posting in the chat now that playlist of 36 videos. And I promise you, if you watch those videos, you'll be very proficient in the spiritual, the emotional, and the logistical tactical part as well. So I've posted it over, but that's a great question, Brother Omar. If you want to add something, Brother Azhar, feel free.
Brother Omar, there's two parts to it. When you say emotional prep to the journey, there's two parts to it that we went through last year. One was the stress associated with not knowing whether I'll be able to go or not. I'm on Nusuk. I'm waiting for it to go on sale. When it goes on sale, what package do I get? Will I be able to purchase it? I don't know whether the quota will come to an end. Will I get stuck? Will it take too long? I've already applied for the holidays, and people were absolutely, in some cases, a mess, an emotional mess. They were taking time off of work. Because the sale happened in Ramadan, they were like, should I go for Taraweeh or should I wait because the sale is going to happen? They were going through all of that process. And the simple answer is that you will be tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your sincerity. And regardless of how much effort you put in and how much effort we put into you, if Allah wills, you will go. And you have to accept that. Do your best effort you can, but leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, unnecessarily worrying about whether you can and cannot, or just giving up that since you can't, I won't do anything about it. That's not the answer. So they went through that emotional roller coaster up front, and they were so happy when they were able to select the package as such. And then after that began the more of a spiritual and the logistical preparation. But this playlist here is all the spiritual aspects and the dimension of Hajj itself. That's pretty extensive. But you will go through the same stress level whenever the sale is going to come on. Will I get in? Will I log in? Will I be able to purchase it, etc.? You will still go through that process unless they change something dramatically or drastically. If you're a married woman, can you travel alone without one's husband? How do you fill out the head of household field? If you're a married woman, a woman above the age of 18 can travel without the mahram. They don't require a mahram as per the new rules established by the Saudi government. So you can apply and you can fill out your name as the head of household. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Brother Vasim, you're saying you've heard a hectic process when the package is open, people who have to drop everything and start selection. I just mentioned that it was an emotional roller coaster. We hope that there'll be some stability. We don't know what changes they'll bring in, but be prepared to ride the roller coaster. Do you recommend the luxury package or premium, and why? We have found that people who live in North America, generally speaking, for you to have a good experience, you can go for a cheaper package, but that you go through such hardships that you're not used to it. And it ends up that you cannot concentrate in your actual religious aspect of the journey. You're constantly worried about the buses, you're constantly worried about this or that. You're too far away from the haram in a hotel. So it depends on what you choose. And so we generally recommend and work with a service provider to create the packages that have reasonable hotels that are in the reasonable distance. Generally speaking, is in front of the haram, 5-star hotel. Those would be the luxury package. And we choose that because living in North America, there's certain level of services that you expect, and we tend to provide that as such. So you can choose a luxury package, or you can choose a premium package, and you can do a Google Maps search on the hotels that they say, can you live with it without it? The Google Map doesn't show you. It'll show you the hotel is only so far away. But remember, traffic goes nowhere at that time. So whatever you're looking at as the hotel, think, hey, can you walk to the haram from there? Just don't think about a shuttle service because it's not going to go anywhere as such. So you base it based on that. We normally prefer a luxury package, and people have talked about shifting and non-shifting. I can simply tell you that non-shifting is very convenient. It is very convenient. You leave your hotel room intact while you're going to Mina. You can come and visit after you come back from Arafat. You can rest there for a while, then you go back. But that is convenience associated with it. But because you're retaining the hotel room during the 5 days of Hajj, you're paying more for the rooms, and that's why that package for non-shifting is expensive. And that you will find in luxury as well as in premium choices. Is Hajj valid with a credit card? Well, people pay top of the wallet using the credit card. It doesn't mean that they have borrowed money. It means that when the bill comes from the credit card, they pay the credit card off. So there's nothing wrong, as it's a convenient way of topping up the wallet. It doesn't mean that you're going to Hajj on credit. It means that when the bill comes, you'll pay it off. So there's not going to be any credit. Assalamu alaikum. Can you repeat what you just said about shifting and non-shifting? I think I've already covered that. Non-shifting is you retain your hotel room while you are in the manasik of Hajj. So that is very convenient. It's easier, especially if you have a hotel right in front of the haram. You can come in, you can shower, you can relax before you go. Non-shifting. Shifting is when you leave the hotel that you had in front of the haram and move to the camps, and there would be a building somewhere in the suburbs of Mecca, not close enough to the haram that you could walk, and you might go to the building if you wanted to actually go there and come back. So that may not be as convenient as a non-shifting. I think I've already answered the question. Yes, you need to create one account per family, and the person who created the account can add the family members to his profile or her profile.
Sorry, Brother Azaria. I'm also responding by typing answers because, mashallah, we had over 130. A lot of them are repeat. I know everyone was excited to just put in their questions, but hopefully now people can upvote. I think they're allowed to upvote any questions. Pretty much we've answered a lot of them, but maybe we'll finish the 23. So at least we'll say that we finished over 130 questions, inshallah.
I made a Nusuk account, had to delete it, then made a new account, but I had to go to upload. Okay, so if you made it last time, I think we went through all of that stuff. Just wait until they open up the registrations, and this might all clear. What is the percentage charge on the refund? I believe it's 1.5%. They will deduct that in the refund process, and you might lose a little bit more in the currency conversion because when you paid in reals, the exchange rate was something different, or you might gain in currency conversion because when they paid you back, the exchange rate was different. So the exchange is different, which normally should be minimal, but the actual charge is 1.5%.
And if I may add one more thing, Brother Azhar, that's not clarified, that wasn't clarified before, is that you're also charged 15% of the 1.5%. So for example, if you're getting a refund of 10,000 rials, your 1.5% is 150 rials, and 15% of that, right, is somewhere around, I want to say 20 rials or 25 rials. So your fee is somewhere around 170 rials out of every 10,000, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So it sounds a lot, but in reality, that's the processing fee. But
So it's the 15% of the 1.5%, not the 15% of the total amount.
correct, correct,
So people
correct. So
get confused. Oh,
15%, yeah.
15% of the total amount. No, it's just the 15% of the 1.5%. So does paying with credit card have extra fee? Also, is there a change for currency conversion? I find that whenever I use credit card, when I'm in Saudi Arabia or anywhere else, and I get my bill back in dollars here, that the credit card company charges you at least 2 to 2.5% more in the exchange rate. They will always have a higher exchange rate. They don't charge you any fee, but they make their money on the currency conversion as such. And last year when people with credit card, they didn't charge oh, you're using a credit card, there should be a merchant fee. They didn't do any of that. I think they make money just in the currency conversion. What will be this year? Definitely they will charge you more on the exchange rate, but I don't think there will be any fee. Okay, I'm skipping the questions that people are saying, I was registered last year, but I'm trying to do something else this year. Just leave it the way it is until Nusuk is ready and resets the platform or tells us registration is open. All these might go away at that time. My husband has added me to his profile. Is this sufficient? Would I still require a unique registration to Nusuk? You don't require a unique registration, Sister Nasima. You're now part of his profile. So when he makes the purchase, making purchase for both of you. I submitted my application last year, but was never verified. Should I resubmit the application? Stay the way it is until they start registration. Will they reset everything from last year? Will they allow the last year's profile to remain? Only then we will know the answer to your question. Some people had difficulty with refunds. Can you speak to that? Yes. So people were anxious as soon as they found out that they couldn't buy a package. I want my refund. I want my refund. I want my refund. And they had made no commitment that they're going to give a refund within a certain days. They were just too busy reconciling those that have bought, and they set the refunds aside, and the refund process didn't even start till after Hajj. So that's why that's why the word difficulty comes in. They're calling, they're sending emails, but they realize that there's a timeline associated with that. If you want a refund, let's say in February or March because you chose not to buy it, you may have to wait for a while before you get the refund. But the fact is, people do get the refund. It's just that it takes time to get it. Where people say I have difficulties because they're constantly calling them, they're constantly sending them emails, and not really understanding that they're not going to get the refund until a few months later. But they all did get their money back. That's the main thing. When should we take the vaccines? As soon as we find out what the requirements are. As I said last year, the requirement was for meningitis, which is good for about 3 years, but they didn't ask you to upload any proof of vaccination into Nusuk. You had to carry it with you because they might check when you actually land over in Jeddah and Medina. If a husband and wife want to stay in a double room, can you still book a quad room package? No, you cannot, because a quad room means 4 people in a room. And you cannot have mixed gender in the same room, especially when they're not related. So if your husband and wife want to be in a double room, they will select a double room where you can have a mixed gender. A quad room would mean 4 men separately, then 4 women separately. Or a quad room could be a family of 4 where they have a relationship among themselves, a mahram relationship, and it doesn't matter if there's mixed gender. What happens if I added money in my wallet that is more than the price of the package? Is it refundable? We're a family of 4. Are we going to be together in the rooms? If you're a family of 4 and you select a quad room and you have a mahram relationship, you will be together in the same room. in a man and woman together. But if you don't have a mahram relationship, then you cannot select, or you should not select a quad room. But if you have a family of 4, you can. That's not an issue. Just select that accordingly. Now, as far as adding more money in the wallet, will you get it back? Yes, I had 100 riyals, which is not even much. 100 riyals, and I asked for a refund. I did get it after Hajj, minus the deduction, but it took a while. But any extra money comes back to you, but it takes a while because you can always look at your e-wallet. Once they have deducted the money from your wallet for the per package you purchase, you can still see the remaining amount, and then you can apply for refund for the remaining amount. It will take a time, but it'll come back, inshallah. Is using credit card halal for Hajj payment? Brother Najibuddin, if you're using credit card today, if it is something haram, then it's haram for everything, not just for Hajj. It's haram for any payment that you have. If you're using credit card today, you should ask the same question. Is it halal to use a credit card? So I use credit card for the purpose of convenience. I do not use credit card for the purpose of taking a loan from the bank and pay them in installments. When my bill comes, I pay 100% in full before the due date so that they don't charge me any interest. So it is really convenience. The best way and one way to pay your e-wallet is through that. If you don't want to use it, you can always transfer the money directly from your bank. But ask yourself the question, are you using credit card today for any purchase? If the purpose is for convenience and you pay the amount before the due date so you don't pay any interest, that's perfectly fine. I think I've already answered that. What happened if I register my husband under my profile, but then something come up and he can't go? Is it going to affect my registration? Right. So if you registered your husband under your profile and then he is unable to go before you purchase the package, you can go in and change your profile and remove him from the profile. And then when you purchase the package, it'll be just for yourself. But before you purchase the package, you can remove him, because once you say I am purchasing, it is purchasing the package for the people in the profile, not for the person who registered, but the person in the profile. So if you have 4 people in the profile, it'll be times 4. Whatever you're purchasing is times 4. Whatever you're selecting and putting into your shopping cart, it is times 4. So if you want somebody removed because they're no longer going, you will do that before you purchase. If you do it after you purchase, then this is a separate refund process. Salam, walaikum salam. I noticed that one slide mentioned the luxury package will be between 60 and 80K real, but the listing of the packages price offered last year, the highest package price I noticed was 59K. So the package price that you see is without the airline. Then they add another 12 to 13,000 reals for the airline. So the package price last year was more closely towards 72 to 75,000 reals. The package prices listed in Nusuk is without the airline because they give you choice of the airlines. And depending on where you're flying from, you then have to actively choose the flight, and then it adds that. And that's why it said 60 to the 80K. Sister Rahat, don't do anything about your dad's application that never got approved last year. Wait till they tell you registration is open and then go back and see if they've reset it. And you have to apply all over again, and then we'll go from there. Again, I've asked, I'm going to repeat the answer. If husband and wife are going, should wife be added as a family member under husband's account, or should they have their own Nusuk act? If you are going, you don't have, not each person have to have a Nusuk account. A primary person with the Nusuk account can add other members of the family to his or her profile. That person who's been added to the profile does not have to have a separate Nusuk account. Am I able to review my application to ensure all the information is correct before submitting? Yeah, you should be able to review the information that you're submitting before you submit it. That shouldn't be an issue. Is it hard to get a 10-day package versus 14-day package? Brother Rizwan, we had both last year, and I can tell you the 10-day package was the first one to sell out, but it was that. And we plan to have another 10-day package this year, inshallah. If you have an account from last year and have money in wallet, do you just update your account information? Will I need to go in and change travel date, etc.? So if you have money in your e-wallet from last year and you have not asked for a refund, when Nusuk opens again for registration, if your account is still valid, your registration is valid, then that money is still usable. If my husband has account with Nusuk since he went to Hajj last year, inshallah, this year I'm planning to go without him. Do I need to make Nusuk Hajj for myself? Of course, you have to make your own profile. It is your passport that needs to be uploaded. It is your picture that needs to be uploaded. If your husband is not going, and so you need to actually create your own account with your own information as such, and then go separately.
Okay, Brother Azhar, I think if we can just run through the remaining, I kept opening them, mashallah. There's so many questions, but there are a lot of them are repeat. But I want to make sure that we answered everyone. But we have a few more minutes. If we can just 5 more minutes and we have to end, Brother Azhar. We've fielded over 150 questions, mashallah.
Similar to asked before, my passport expired in February 2025 and can't renew before and during the verification process. Sister Mariam, generally speaking, I live in Canada and I can tell you that I can renew my passport within 6 months of expiry. So back off 6 months, you are already in the renewal process, because the passport office understands that many of the countries where you're visiting require the passport be valid for 6 months. And so if it is within 6 months, you can go out and apply for renewal of your passport. So try that. It should work. It's not that you have to wait till it expires before you renew it or get close to it. Within 6 months, you should be able to apply. And they might ask you to provide a written note or see somebody, and they should be able to accept that. That shouldn't be an issue, inshallah. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. If I choose shifting, where would I keep my luggage while we are at Mina? Your luggage goes into storage. Okay. My wife has separate account in Nusuk. Is it not allowed to delete one account? How can I delete hers? Okay, right now Nusuk is frozen to make any changes to the profile. Wait till they say registration is open, then go in and see if the account is still there and see if you can make changes to the profile. You mentioned that you only work with the luxury packages. What happens to standard or premium packages? You can choose any of the packages you want, but we will tell you when the packages are listed. There were 402 packages last year. You can see how it's going to get confusing. There are 402 packages last year. So what they did is what we did is we told people how to filter down to the 11 packages we had. And those are the 11 packages we had as such, right? And then you can choose from those packages. Are there any age restrictions this year due to hot weather you mentioned last time? They have not announced any age restrictions. They have not announced any regulations with respect to Hajj. I think they had restrictions on children, should be above 12. They have not said anything about this year. They had no restrictions on the age and the upper limit. So we don't know if there's going to be any age restrictions as far as we know. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair for providing us this information. Wa alaikum salam. Could you please verify that you'll be able to see the flight options when browsing the packages and be able to add the package and flight to your cart? Just want to make sure that the wallet is topped up to appropriate amount. So, Sister Bibi, when you are actually looking at the package, you will get to see the flight options for those that list the flight. For example, people have had this issue last year. They had a package that started in Medina, but the flight option showed them landing in Jeddah. So should they choose them or not? We tell them, go ahead, choose it. We'll transfer you to Medina. The service provider will transfer you to Medina. So you will see the flight option. And then if you select the flight option, that the whole thing becomes your package that you can put into your shopping cart. I hope that answered the question. How do I fill in the required fields on the registration page if I don't have the information? So PO box, employer, so you don't have to fill in. Look at the mandatory field. The mandatory field is the address. So whatever your status is, if you're a student, you say you're a student. If you don't have an employer, you just say you're a student. There's nothing wrong with that. So fill in what you have as information. If you don't have a PO box, then you don't have to fill in the PO box. But you have an address, then you have to fill in the address. Myself and my husband registered at Nusuk separately with our emails. How can we combine the profile as a family now? I think we need to delete one when the time comes and add that person to the other person's profile. Are the respected scholars from all schools of Islam? The respected scholars are from the different schools of Islam. Yes, they are from, I believe if we find Shafi'i and Hanafi. I think you have Hanbali as well. I'm not so sure we had Maliki or not, but generally speaking, that's what we had from the schools of Islam.
All right, Brother Azhar, if we can just wrap it up, inshallah. If you
Sure.
want to just go through these 6 questions real quick.
Do you recommend extra travel insurance? Will credit card insurance be enough? Depends on what's covered in the credit card insurance. I really can't answer that. Is the package price separate from the airfare? Yes, it is. And depends on what you select and where you're flying from. The price will vary anywhere from 6,000 riyals to 15,000 riyals. Add additional. Me and my wife want to stay in the same room, and my brother-in-law is coming with us. Does my brother-in-law require to register with his own account, or can I register him under my account? I would say that your brother-in-law is coming with you. You cannot be in a triple room. You have to select a double room as such, and so it'll be brother-in-law separately, and your wife and he will be in a shared room with another man, and your wife and yourself will be in a room by yourself. Can I 2 methods of payment in the wallet? You can use any method of payment in the wallet. I can pay my e-wallet one time with my credit card, another time I can pay with the debit card, another time I can do a transfer from my account. I'm just adding more to the e-wallet each time I'm paying. Can you please advise how flights work? Well, the service provider has purchased flights, right? Matching their flights, their packages, and they will have purchased it. Let's say they have a package they want to market in North America, some from Canada, from the United States. They want to market this package from Europe, from UK, for example. So they would have purchased flight based on the capacity, and as it lists, it'll give you the option of the flights associated with that, and then you choose the flight that they're providing. And let's say if it is a flight out of Chicago and you live somewhere else within the United States, that means that you take a flight out of Chicago and you take your own domestic flight to Chicago. So that's how it would work. On Nusuk, when you're registering, they ask for arrival details. How should we respond since we don't have this information? If you can leave it blank, great. If not, then put in a date that you're arriving on, anywhere from May 26, 28. It should be fine. Ahmed, that's the end of the questions.
Yep, Brother Azhar, I've been also even responding in the chat, even though the chat is not meant for questions. But I want to make sure that, I just want to make sure. I know there's a lot of people that are anxious, and I promise you, brothers and sisters, we're gonna have tons, dozens of sessions. So please be patient with us. But I don't want anyone to get off and say, well, they didn't answer my question. But again, we're gonna speak about it. But I'm seeing a lot of these questions are very secondary. And we will cover them, I promise. But overall, I just want to ask a question in the chat. Has at least the first or second steps of the process have been answered for you? All right. And yes, Brother Sheikh Dawood, we will work on the transcript. I promise you, inshallah. So just let's take it not even one step at a time. We've given you probably 5 or 6 steps, right? There may be an option for business class, but we'll discuss that later as well. But let's focus on what we have speaking about it at hand. I know there's a lot of detailed questions per person, but we're trying our best to answer you as best as possible. So, alhamdulillah, we're seeing positive response that I believe we've gotten at least the first couple of steps out of the way. Please stay tuned on the Telegram. Brother Azhar, if you can just please close us with dua, inshallah. May Allah bless you. Jazakallah khair.
I would close it with dua, but I will take just 2 minutes. Brothers and sisters, we get questions about, is this the right slipper to wear in ihram? Can I wear shoes for all of those questions will be answered at the appropriate time. Just think of the sequence. The first thing is to get you a package, how to book, how to create profile, how to top up the e-wallet. Believe me, we have a whole bunch of webinars to go through the logistics and how do I pack, what do I take, what happens to my luggage, what about transportation during a non-shifting. All of that will be answered. We cannot answer them all in one webinar. This is an information session starting with how do you go for Hajj, what is the process, how do you register. But trust us, we've been doing this for over 30 years. We will help you through every aspect of the logistics and administrative part of this journey. and also the spiritual part of the journey. So please just be patient with us. Just concentrate on the first steps. Once you purchase the package, then we'll start again on the religious aspect and the administrative aspect, including all the way through what happens when you land, what happens when you go to Mina, etc. So it'll all come. So don't be disappointed if I didn't answer your question, because your question was about something that's happening much later in the steps. It's just for now, concentrate what's happening until you purchase the package. How do you purchase the package? What do I need to purchase the package? What about the profile? Those are the valid questions we need to answer. Trust me, you'll be tired of seeing us in the webinars going through all of the other explanations associated with Hajj on the logistics side, on the administrative side. And we have, mashallah, a plethora of shuyukhs willing to come with us. We even have a session for women only. That will be afterwards. We have a session where the physician comes in and tells you how to prepare from a perspective. We take physicians with us in case you need help. So we have all of that, but it'll come after. Let's start with how do I book and how do I buy a package? So may Allah
And brother Asad,
subhanahu
if I can add one more thing, I'm sorry to interrupt. There's mashallah, I know there's a lot of brothers and sisters that are very qualified in providing guidance and feedback on the process and so on and so forth. And we really appreciate your feedback. But we have a process. And yes, for those that are giving suggestions about Q&As and FAQs and writtens, we actually have that too in due time. But we found that through our stats is that a lot of people are more visual. They want to watch it, and that's why we repeated it first visually. We spoke about it, and then we showed it visual, and then we'll send it in writing as well. So don't worry, we have it covered. Alhamdulillah. We've taken advice from many people in the past, and we've modified. There's certain things that are not in our control, but certain things that we can help as well with as well, and then supporting the service providers and the platform, inshallah. So yes, we got you covered. Visually, verbally, written, repeated multiple times. Again, you can go on our YouTube channels. There's tons of information if you really want to go back and listen to I would say maybe 50 sessions last year as well. So you're welcome to do that. Please stay tuned on the Telegram. We're going to be opening up the Telegram probably in a month or two from now for some questions. But again, we have a process. We've seen what works, and just bear with us. Jazakallah khair. You want to close off with dua, Sheikh, Brother Azhar?
Brothers and sisters, I pray that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us sincerity in worshiping Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to come to His house, to invite us to His house, to perform Hajj that He accepts. For there is no better reward than the acceptance of Hajj. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding of this deen and guide us to deeds that He is pleased with. And inshallah, we will continue this in another session. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.